everybody? Welcome. Jex Podcast, episode 11. We are here today. Again, as always, your host, Michael Jex, my brother, as always.
Holla.
Right-hand side, Gary Cowan. And we got a special guest, our sister from up north, Miss Lillie Ennis.
What's up?
So
Shout out to Lillie.
she came down from up north. She got sick of shoveling snow for 8 months out of the year in Connecticut. And she just want to come and hang out. So, welcome, Lillie. How you doing?
I'm grateful to be here. What's up, guys?
Everything's good. We chilling.
Heard you ain't trying to go back, by the way. I heard you trying to stay longer than you supposed to.
No, I never said that.
It's crazy. You're a liar.
That's
We're going to
crazy.
talk about capping on this call.
That's how much training calls we do. Homie just said on this call. Right. We're going to do on this call. But, it was good. I hope everybody had a great week. How was your week, G? How was your week, Gary?
I actually had a good week. I'm going back and thinking about it, man. I had a good week. As I always talk about my kids, I had a great week. My son's in swimming, so I'm in swimming class, trying to get the second one to go start doing the swimming thing. I've had a great progressive week. I'm looking at it. It's good.
We had a great week. We went to Houston in the week, which was dope.
I forgot that was a week ago.
Yeah, it was within the week. Yeah, we went to go see Mr. Holton Bugs. Shout out to you, HB. Went to his house. Going to his house is always it's a mind fuck because you don't realize how big someone's house can be. Sometimes you don't realize like they allow people to build homes this big. He lives down in Houston about this. Oh wait, today's actually Earlene's birthday. Happy birthday, Earlene Bugs.
Happy birthday,
I hit her up earlier. I was like, it's a no-brainer why you're the GOAT. You're a January baby. That's why you're the GOAT, man. So happy birthday, Earlene. But his crib is nuts, man. Holton's crib is stupid. I'm gonna talk about his crib for a little bit just because it's that crazy. It's 30,000 square feet. So sometimes people, you go look for your little apartment somewhere and, you're looking for a little 1,200 square feet, 13. That's not even his bathroom. You understand what I'm saying? This man's crib is 30,000 square feet. We was pulling up to the house and Gary's like, yo, this motherfucker built a mountain on the end of the block. He's like, it's a mountain. It's like, because I feel like his crib, when you go inside, is so big. I feel like it's unsuspecting. And I think probably because you've never been there, you didn't realize that. But since you've been in the house and coming outside, you kind of realize like the crib looks big, but it's when you walk in that shit and you walk around, it's like,
yeah, it's a good size because then you compare it to all the other homes that's around. It's definitely the biggest in terms of look. But when you go inside, it gets even bigger than that.
No, it's
ridiculous. Gary spent like 5 minutes talking about the door, just the door.
Hold on, as he should, because it is the biggest residential door on any residential home in the United States.
He's different.
The shit opens up. Like the apartment complex that we live, where we're doing this podcast right now, like his front door reaches from like the ground level to like the top of this apartment complex.
Wow.
No, it's wild, bro. I don't even know how many feet how high it is. It's like, I think 30,000. Excuse me, no, that's his house. It's like 30 feet high or some ridiculous
18,
shit.
18, 20 feet.
Some
18,
wild, ridiculous.
Feet, 18 tall. 8 foot wide.
And then the way
it's just stupid.
And then the way it moves, like
it's stupid.
Swings, the whole door swings.
Stupid
open.
In a good way.
Yeah.
His steps to his door is bigger than a nigga's apartment. First of all, so you talk about square footage. Some people's apartment can fit on the steps towards the door. It's just a wild place. It's
crazy.
Wild in that way. And what I do learn is how he pays attention to detail. Mm-hmm. That shows me another level, like attention to detail, man. The little things.
Yeah, he's got like a story of like the way of success in an art piece on his wall. Like when you walk in, and you can just imagine how the wall. If the door is that high, then just understand how high the wall is when you walk into the house.
It's nuts.
It's literally your head is just staring up. But it's crazy, man. Much respect to him.
He has like a whole bunch of technology and innovative stuff.
Oh yeah, let's talk about one of them. So his in his house you won't see light switches. He doesn't have light switches. He doesn't have thermostats. Not even what's the cute one that everybody likes to buy? The little Nest. Yeah, that's homeless shit compared to his house. Okay, that's poverty. That's poverty. Listen, the Nest. No, he's got little tiny. I'm not. Hold on. And as I go, I want y'all to understand. I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is real shit I'm describing about this man's home. It's got little tiny holes inside the walls that air flows through to let the temperature gauges in the house know what the temperature is in the house. And if he wants to raise the temperature or lower the temperature, he does it on everything on his phone. Everything
just
is
like parking assist in a wall. Like
yes,
a bumper,
everything.
Like
yeah, so there's no switches, right? There's no switches. There's a lot of little things. I guess I'll leave, to let it to be, secret. But that's one. Right. There's a couple other things too that was like, you for real? Like this is how this.
Mike said, "Yo, guess how much that speaker right there costs? That's just a portable speaker." I'm not even know what to guess. I'm not shit. $5,000.
He's the music one.
$25,000.
That's a little thing. That's a little something. Little.
It was so expensive. I didn't want to listen to it because I'm like, if I listen to all this shit break, I can't afford it. So I'm good. You could turn that shit off. I ain't paying that.
He shows us. Check it. He shows us. He goes into the movie theater room. He's got obviously he has to have a movie theater room. He's got a movie theater room, and he's breaking down the movie theater room and how the speakers inside the walls of the movie theater room. It's like $300,000 worth of just speakers inside the walls that actually he ended up taking over from the previous owner. You know what I'm saying? That actually had that in there. But his home is nuts. I mean,
that shit wild.
Arlene's closet, 3,000 square feet, and it's a Gucci store. Like,
she has a Neiman Marcus in her house.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's crazy. Listen, I was joking when we were in the house. I was joking around. I was asking a couple people, and I was like, "When was the last time y'all felt this poor?" Like, this is ridiculous here. But listen.
How you get the crib?
Exactly. He got the crib through network marketing. You know what I'm saying? He got the crib through network marketing. So are people hearing all this stuff that we talking about? I mean, like they have earned and worked towards a home that is, a dream home of dream homes.
Right.
And he was able to do that, all of it through network marketing. That says a lot right there. Anybody want to know if network marketing exists? Right there. And they are 100% completely debt free. There's no mortgage on any homes. There's no loans on any cars.
That's crazy.
That's how they do it. Okay, so network marketing did it. And that's why I choose, not because of the stuff, but because of how they move and how they were able to create this life for themselves through the industry that we all connected to. So I didn't even shout out everybody else in here. So we got Sean Glassford here, Sean Foster, who's in the other room, who never ever wants to come near the mic or the camera. Sean, thank you, appreciate you. And then you got Sergio and Isaac here. But yeah, man, like that they were able to create this astronomical life through network marketing. You want to know if it works? Research the bugs.
That's a fact.
But excuse me, I was gonna bring up some stuff that happened over the week that I thought that was very it was talk worthy because a lot of people were speaking about it. How Kyrie Irving, if you guys know, like Kyrie, basketball player, like incredible basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets. How he was wilding out recently, like he was, yeah. Kyrie was tripping. So Kyrie was, he missed almost 2 weeks of gameplay.
Did they say why?
Well, so here's the thing.
He's back tonight.
He's back. He's
back
gonna
tonight. But
right.
Did they have a reason why?
So at first, okay. So here's at first. So I got some stuff that I want to ask. Right. For the first week and change, no one knew. He just left. He just did. No one knew why. Yesterday he did a press conference, and he explained kind of what was going on, and he wasn't really detailed about it, but he was just like, sometimes I just needed a break. I just needed to get away. I just stuff happens. He lives close to his family, so he's from Jersey. So him playing for Brooklyn now, his family's nearby. So pretty much to make a long story short, it seems like he was going through some stuff, which a lot of people go through. We all go through stuff, and I get it. But here's my question, right? Because I'm on social media and I'm looking at how people are reacting to it. Obviously Kyrie is a major figure in sports, so people are gonna follow up on him. So we got Kyrie, who missed all these games, and a couple days ago, the news got out that he bought George Floyd's family a home, which was dope, right? And Kyrie is an activist. Like, he really works. For the people and the culture in a lot of different ways that we don't even know, because he's not out there publicizing it. He's just going out there and do it. So he's doing all this great stuff behind the scenes. But the question that I was posing, right, because I was talking to Gary about it a little bit earlier, is like, does the good stuff that he does that give hall pass, a green light to be unprofessional with his organization and in his career, right? So you're the marquee or one of the marquee players on 1-2, right? Because you got any other team, he's the marquee player. He happens to be playing now with Kevin Durant and fucking James Harden, which is
super team.
That's just stupid, man. Well, anyway, we'll talk about that another day. We'll talk about that super team shit another day. But yeah, they got together. Any other team, he would be the marquee player. But he's up there with them. You just disappear. You don't tell your teammates. You don't tell your coaching staff. You don't tell the organization. You don't tell the owner. You just dip. Is that okay? Does his good deeds say, you know what, I'll let you go and not do anything? And I have my thoughts on it, but I want to hear what's y'all thoughts on that.
I mean, part of me, as we all live by, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you are this good person behind the scenes, I feel like it should reflect in public.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now, then I also look at the Kyrie we have now compared to the Kyrie that we saw in Cleveland before the LeBron time. Mm-hmm. And the difference I feel is just that now he's in a leadership role. People are looking at him that way. So yeah, when you didn't have any accolades, anything wasn't happening, maybe you was the same person. But nobody cared because guess what? Now you had first of all, we had an audience.
Right.
People can live their personal life and not need to go get COVID tests just to go live. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot of things now that's magnifying him specifically because honestly, everybody's being magnified because of the bubble at some point. So maybe this is who he always been. Maybe he always been that activist here and the public asshole, if they want to call him the asshole, but it was just no point in highlighting Kyrie because there was so many other people that was at attention. So obviously we don't know those people, so we can't say he necessarily changed. All I'm saying is it definitely does not give a person the right or him to respond that way in public because as a figure. Mm-hmm.
So what exactly did he respond in public and say?
So here's the one thing. So he in the press conference, he's like this. Let me move my computer. He's like this. Yeah, so I was going through some things, and I was, maybe I could have done other things different, but like
so everyone felt he was nonchalant about it.
Even that, he kind of was, because here's my thing. I have a couple different ways I'm thinking about it. Does he owe the fans anything? Honestly, I think not really. I don't think he really owes the fans shit, right?
You don't owe the fans an explanation. You owe your organization.
Your teammates and the organization.
Some sort of employee.
That's what I'm saying.
The way I see it is that his character should precede him. So obviously, if he was always a giving person doing great things, that should translate into who he is as a person. But I think right now in this season is the only reason why I'm going to say this is that we have to extend grace in this season because it is a pandemic. So I think just from a humanity standpoint, not the fact that he's a philanthropist should give him a whole pass, but if he's going through something, he's going through something.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I feel like self-preservation is key. Before I'm, have an obligation to the Brooklyn Nets, before I have an obligation to the NBA, before I have an obligation to my teammates, I have to self-preserve me. So if that's what he needed to do for whatever reason, I feel him.
See, that I understand that, but again, he has a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people call out sick.
It's not right. You gonna call out sick, but you just not gonna no show.
No
show at another job, you getting fired.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not again to the fans. Yeah, you don't owe a shit to explain to why you going through personal shit. But if the organization haven't heard from you, nigga, you got a job.
You know what I'm saying?
You can get fired in this shit. You know what I'm saying? People could trade you, let you go. So I feel like that is a point to say, listen, no matter how high you get on the pedestal or how you become as a public figure, you know what I'm saying? You still got to show up to do what you got paid to do.
Right.
If so, don't leave. Because if you going through something personally at work, you got to say, hey, can I get it? Can you guys excuse me? I got some personal stuff going on. I'm going to have to take a leave of absence. You got to answer to them. They're the ones cutting the check. So, and then that's when you put family first. Because I got to put my family over this job. So I just got to let you know. But for him to just pop up and now come where it's kind of like we're bothering you trying to find, that's just whack. Like that's just a whack kind of personality to have. And people want to sympathize because you are going through something. We might see that. But the reality is, bro, you still have to show up for something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
for sure. He got to say something. Like he got to say something to them.
I don't think who the fuck. It don't matter who the fuck it is. I think anybody,
right? But and I think too, you know, for like I want to say it might have been like Complex Sports. You know, I commented like a week ago, and I said, and I got into like a big debate with so many people on this post. I said, I bet you, if you took his contract right now and ripped that shit up in pieces and gave this nigga a job, being a cashier at Target, he gonna move mad different. His actions will change. If he was not making $30+ million this year alone,
right,
his actions would change. And everybody was like, why would you say some ignorant shit like that? And I'm like,
it's the truth.
That tells me that how much you know, like you're ignorant. Like seriously, I'm not saying the man don't deserve to maybe preserve his mental space. Because maybe, I feel, you doing a fucking interview like this, you know, I really do think, and I'm not trying to be funny, I think something wrong with him. I think he might need some sort of like mental help, you know? Yeah. He might be going through shit. And I'm being for real, like, if he needs that time or he needs help to go through it, fuck it. Like, or he's got to find that help, okay? But you got to like compartmentalize, right? Everything. If he needs that help, he needs to go get the help. But you can't, because there's people out here in 2020 coming into 2021, they don't got no jobs. They hurting financially. And I know there's people that's watching him that's like, damn, like, Lord, like, he acting like that ungrateful with that he got going. I can't even, help me. So it's as much good as he's doing, I would also want him to look at the position that he is in. Now, granted, he's not given that position. He earned that shit. He worked for it for sure. But while you're there, honor it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are employee to that team, but at the same time, that's something that it's a coveted job that anybody would want. So, respect that shit.
So, how do you feel about who his mentor is?
We don't know who the fuck is his mentor.
That's what I'm saying. So, mentorship
no leaders.
In any role is vital, because who's that person that's there mentoring him, holding him accountable? Like, you can't do no whack shit.
Yeah, like who knows? Like, who knows who's his mentor? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Who it was, who he looked up to.
Who?
Kobe. I mean, he said he looked up to Kobe for.
He said he did look up to Kobe. Yeah, Kobe probably would have definitely checked him for that.
For
you know
a
what
fact.
I'm saying? Like,
for a fact, he would have said something.
What you got going on? But yeah, if he, like, for example, the good stuff he's doing, amazing. Keep doing it. And I know that the people that's being affected by the stuff he's doing, they appreciate it. Keep doing your thing. If you need the mental health help, go get that too. You know what I'm saying? No one's knocking you for that. But then also, now when it comes to your profession of why you even are known, like people know you and respect you and all this stuff, if we're being real, it's not because of the philanthropy that he's doing. He's not known for that. He's known for basketball. So you got to get that love back to what has given you that platform and the brand. Correct. Don't disrespect that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And at the same time, if he wasn't that social media guy, we probably would have caught on to that early on. I mean, social media meaning the platforms, the interviews. At this time in his career, he's probably, whether he's fed up with them or not, but dealing with the press. So we've seen Kyrie's do the interviews and engage. So that's not always been his thing. Like if somebody said I don't like to speak to press, I'll probably think Westbrook. Like Westbrook always been that type of person. You get what I'm saying? Like he just always had that attitude.
Straight asshole.
Right. I love him.
So to see him like that now, to see Kyrie like that now, something's wrong.
Right.
He's going through something to the point where he's not even over it. He's just now feeling like, well, I'm not even completely going through my process, but I got to still show up.
I got to show up. And he's like,
and he's not expressing that
James Harden here now, so let me just try to go.
And he's not expressing that, and people are going to judge them from what they see, not from what they don't see.
Yeah.
So I feel like how it has to get into that point. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you are going to use being an activist and a philanthropist, those things that fulfill you, you got to also pay attention and be grateful for the platform that's allowing you to be able to do that stuff. Because
that is a fact.
That money is you're earning, that's giving you that fulfillment, so you got to still appreciate the things that you have to do to keep that check going so you can do the jobs that you really want to do. Vehicle, that's what we talk about when it comes to network marketing. There's a lot of things that we want to do. There's a lot of ideas and goals we had as kids. We ain't wake up and say, man, we want to be network marketers the same way I thought I wanted to be a ball player. But we know that vehicle is going to get something, so we treat it and we're grateful for it because now that allows us to fulfill ourselves in different ways. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he has to not forget, even though he's probably going through something.
And I also think, indirectly,
On top of the fact he might be an asshole too, but
he probably is.
But now the camera's on him.
Camera's on him, right? And with all that, I think it's an indirect showing too. Like, yo, you get your money up. In a lot of ways, your stress gonna go down, regardless of what. You get your money up, stress goes down. I know he's got a lot of stress, that he's probably dealing with right now. But if he was not getting that paycheck by the NBA, this motherfucking stress would be at, on Mount Everest.
Biggie says more money, more problems.
Nah.
No, you get different problems.
Right.
You don't get more. I think you get different type of problems. You know what I'm saying? But I think in general, like the more money that you earn, the less stress. And that's another thing too. Like, us as a culture, we look at rap songs and shit like that. We take that as like a Bible. Like, oh shit, Biggie said you get more money, more problems. Mm-hmm. Let me not go get more money because I'm gonna get more problems. That shit.
Cardi B says why? You gotta bring that whack ass joint right there.
He started already.
Not for the Henny, man. I told you, I don't give me this shit.
This shit is hot. Got me hot.
But our culture is really like driven by music, rap lyrics. And memes. That's like the thing now.
Memes.
People think memes is life.
Yeah, no, they do. They do. Rap lyrics and memes, and you are spot on. You know what I'm saying? Right. People really live their life because they were like, yo, Jeezy said.
They think TV Jakes is the one posting on Spiritual World. I think that's a pastor right there, boy. Spiritual.
Nah, people pastor now is Justin LeBoy. Yo,
I love his account. I love his account.
I had to mute him.
No, I love everything about him.
I had to mute you, bro. Like he's mad, like just negative, like wild nigga. But hold on, I ain't gonna but funny as fuck. Like funny as fuck. That's like he's funny. He's funny as fuck.
Funny as hell.
Funny as fuck. But that's what our culture is really driven by that. But I was having a conversation with this dude Seven. Seven. I'm gonna get Seven on the podcast too. That's a deep brother. He's deep. Like I get to meet Seven. Actually, I'm headed to his crib after this. After we leave here, I'm gonna go over there. But he was talking about just how he stopped listening to rap a lot. He don't really listen to too much because of like the energy that shit gives out people. He's a deep dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't think surface level. But it I don't even we wasn't even gonna talk about this shit on the podcast. I guess we'll go into a little bit, but yo, the music that our culture listens to, it's like, I don't know, 40%, 60%, 40% stuff you could get from and use. 60% it's like, yo, this shit will hurt you in your life if you really live by this, you know what I'm saying?
As you said, it's funny because I think the music, what I've noticed, when you're in that environment, it's helpful to get you through it. Mm-hmm. Anytime I had any problems, I want to fight somebody, boy, put in a Get Rich or Dying CD, man, somebody gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I made it worse.
But hey, man, that's how you survive. I remember having fights and doing high school stuff, man. I've thrown some 50 Cent in, son. I wanted to get a Glock.
You know how many niggas would still be on Earth right now if it wasn't for 50 music? Okay. They would still be here. They would still be with us.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it helps. And there's some music too when you go through shit, when you listen to like the old DMXs and the Tupac and they help you to get through the shit because they talking about the situation you in, and it's so helpful. Because you can't change shit, so you need that to get you through. But then when you start to get outside of that environment now you get to a point where you're looking specifically for a feeling, then you kind of say, well, this shit ain't helping me move forward.
Like a lot of the stuff now, like the new
unless
music now.
Unless you find a conscious rapper or something.
Yo, the new music now is like
I
don't
dark. Understand it.
It's very dark. It's
dark. It's terrible.
Very dark.
You know, and hold on. Guess what's gonna happen? Guess what happened? We gonna sound like the old niggas when people hear it.
But no.
We sound like the old niggas, but it's like these new artists. They're not talking about nothing.
Nothing. They're like a bunch of druggies.
Jello. Like what? Like these niggas ain't talking about nothing. You know that like it's just.
Where has your artistry stopped at? What do you think is like the latest person that you could say, all right, well, this like I haven't listened. I haven't absorbed any new artists since this person.
Drake.
And he ain't with that. That's
Drake.
That's
Drake.
Drake for you.
Drake. What I'm trying to think who's after. I think there's talented people that has emerged after him. There's some talent. I think Travis Scott is super talented. Do I absorb? Like what you said, am I absorbing? Half the shit you don't even know what he's saying, and it's filled with auto tune. So, but he knows how to create really good music in the sense of how it's done. Like Travis is up there. Rapping wise, I mean, I'm gonna miss a few because you got me drinking this shit, so I'm not like the sense is not gonna click. Rapping wise, right now, I don't know. There's a couple. Like I think Lil Baby is a dope rapper.
He's dope. I
think
him.
The Baby is a fucking fire rapper. Like he put words together something crazy. Yeah. But again, I'm not absorbing shit from them. Like they're talented as fuck.
If anybody you know of, it'll stop there.
The Baby, even like people sleep on like even like Quavo. Quavo's a fucking fire rapper. You know what I'm saying? There's a bomb. No, I'm missing a few. Tory's a fire rapper.
I'm about to say,
yeah. Tory's a like so. And I mean, Tory's saying too.
And honestly, that I'll probably say absorb because he's so talented. You could go to R&B, you go to rap. So I think when it comes to like looking at when he entered, like I think after Tory, I don't really know much about anybody else that's come out since. Like I've never said, I've heard Lil Baby, I heard The Baby, but I think it stops differently. Anybody after that, I honestly don't really know about, man. I still think Fab top 5.
I'm
from Brooklyn, man. Fab, man.
From Fab to Brooklyn too. It's like
who's not? That's for you fucking top 5, bro.
Fab top 5 all time for you? Like for all time rappers?
That's because Gary listens to R&B all the time.
Gary,
Fab, my nigga. Fab hit.
No, I'm not saying Fab don't hit. I'm saying top 5 all time. I mean, I can understand what I would. I don't know if I can say.
I can't deny Fab music. If he puts something out today, I can't deny it.
Top 5 though. That's top 5 is high.
Top 5, man.
Fab, if you ever hear this, bro, that's respect.
Yeah, send me a shirt.
Yo, Fab, I'm not gonna say I fuck with you, big time. If you ever listen to this, you know, brief void. I understand,
Fab,
Brooklyn. We get it.
I can't. He has not, and I say top 5. He has not let me down, bro. Anything
he hasn't. But see, I think for me to be a top 5 rapper, like
consistent.
He's consistent.
He's very consistent.
Top 5, real quick, right now. Top 5, not no order.
No order. Rappers or singers, rappers.
Rap.
Obviously, Hove.
Alive. Let's go alive. Obviously, I'm not saying dead or alive. Alive.
I'm from Brooklyn, so it's like it's religion. Hove,
right.
Like Hove. Drake for me.
Yay.
Rapper. Let me get. I might get to him. Let me get to him. Top 5 rapper. Nas for me is up there. I'm fucking mad. I'm getting hit with this question without even thinking. I know those 3 for sure. Like I know some people be like Drake. Nah, I think Drake is honestly arguably the best ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Arguably the best ever. So,
how you feel about Eminem?
I think Eminem is lyrically fire. I just can't get.
Eminem has always been a part of my top 5, but then he has released things that I can deny recently. You know what I'm saying? So
he's part of your top 5 too.
He was.
Look, I know he gonna get mad. He always get mad when people don't put him. I don't know if y'all ever pay attention. And he be getting tight when people. Yeah, Eminem gets tight. People don't give him.
He was because for a very long time, bro, ain't nobody mess with you. But then again, remember he still pushing the envelope, went through writer's block, and now it's get to the point where just some things he released that he's like, yo, it's Eminem, like you know what I'm saying. But as I said, Fab has been undeniable. He can release something tomorrow. That bad boy's jamming.
He just don't got to see my thing. For you to be a top 5 rapper, to me, you gotta have like a classic album. Fab don't got no classic album to me. And I could be tripping too. I could be tripping right now. I like this. These questions are caught off guard. We weren't supposed to speak about this stuff too.
Lillie.
So thinking, my 3 so
top
far.
5? Hove. For a fact. Little Kim, Judge Your Mother. I have to put a female up there.
Hey,
and I love her. And she has a classic album. Yay.
I might have to put Ye in mine too. And then it's
Drake and Eminem. I'll say those would be my top 5.
Who's your top 5, Gary? Let me hear this shit.
Hove, Fab.
That's a Brooklyn answer.
Yeah, like I said, Nas ain't in mine. I never really, and I'm not saying he's not good, but I just never listened to Nas at the time, so I can't even say just.
Nah, I did.
So if knowing that, then you can easily see where I would fit Fab in, because there's a lot of people I just never listened to, because I caught rap late too at the same time. I caught rap. Yeah, I caught rap late, man. I'm Jamaican, so everything was dance hall and R&B for me.
Got you.
So rap I inherited very late, so I wasn't the hip hop fan of saying, yo, I know the history of. It was just a matter of I grew up knowing Hove. I wasn't really listening to Nas, even though I know he had some hits. I used to like listening to Eminem a lot, but the consistency now, like Renegade, that shit was different. And Fab is just sitting there, but like you said, Ye, like you go back and pull some Kanye albums, and you gotta give him his shit, even though he spends. And
it's time. It's
so
time.
Like,
eras.
That's why I say
everybody got different eras and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And Drake.
Oh, so honestly, you know who's one of my favorite rappers of all time? Who's in my top 5? T.I. T.I. is one of my favorite. T.I.'s top 5 for me.
T.I.'s good.
T.I. top 5.
I won't put him in my top 5 because I know if I had a Fab and T.I. album, the Fab I'm going in first.
Fab. So I got Hove.
But not to take anythay from T.I.
Hove, Drake.
And that's how I'm looking at it in terms of my top 5. I got this Rolodex on my iPad. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, there's no judgment.
I pass Fab name, I gotta stop. Gotta play. So that's how I pick it. Anyway.
You know who else is up there? I think that'll probably finish my 5. No, Luda rounds off my top 10. I love Luda. He rounds off my top 10. You know who's in my who finished in my top 5? Snoop.
Snoop is fire.
Snoop.
I grew up in my bedroom. I had 2 posters in my crib, and I'm talking about wall to wall. And I'm like 2nd grade, like a Puff Daddy poster and a Snoop Dogg poster.
Yes.
And it was a Snoop Dogg poster of him with a blue background and with like a jail jumpsuit. That was my fucking. Snoop is my nigga. Like I want to meet Snoop. Like I like he top 5. So I would say.
Now when I say my top 5, this doesn't
Snoop,
mean I
T.I.
gauge them in the best rappers of all time. I'm saying
Right.
my top 5 in terms of when I'm going through my iPad.
Your go-to, who you gonna listen to.
And I see this, I know that it don't matter if it's going to be a rap or some R&B shit. Fab is a name I could choose in mind because he has both.
Okay.
Drake, same. Kanye, same. Hove, same. There's like no matter the mood, they got something that can fit that. That's why I said that's
Nas
my
got
top
shit like that
5.
too,
I don't
though.
know Nas. I barely listen to
Nas.
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 That's why I said Nas
It's
wouldn't be
just
in
that
mine.
Nas stopped making music for like a period. You know, like the artists we talking about, even Snoop
His
continued
new
to still
album
make
is
music.
fire.
But even
too.
T.I.
I like
is like
it a
that.
lot.
T.I.
still
got
got
both.
music, yeah.
But as I'm saying,
T.I. got
I didn't really listen to a lot of Nas going. So I ain't gonna say he's not in the top 5 of Mount Rushmore's. He's just not a part of my top 5 catalog that I will go to when it comes to. If I gotta say, yo, we got a road trip to take, I'd grab my Fab. Let me get my Fab for this road trip.
Who wins? Who wins a versus between? Get y'all a good one. Who wins a versus between Beyonce and Mariah Carey?
Mariah Carey.
You see the meme?
The Beehive not gonna come for me, but I agree. Like,
Christmas is done,
Mariah
man.
Carey.
They put Mariah in the frozen
Mariah.
capsule. You see the meme?
Yo, now let me say something. Son. Her Christmas bag alone wins a lot. Her Christmas bag alone give her a couple wins in that 20,
For
bro.
her fact.
The
Mariah.
Christmas bag, the legendary Christmas bag.
Mariah, yo.
Mariah and Boys
She's
to Men got a Christmas
legendary.
bag that a lot of
Yep.
people can't keep up with.
Now, I was joking too. Like if Hove and Drake do a 20 for 20 versus who wins?
That'd be so hard.
That's controversial, man.
That's
It's
very
very
controversial.
That's a Michael
controversial.
Jordan and LeBron talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Who-
for a fact.
Controversial, man.
Because I was on the way here. Every time I come to the podcast, I play specific joints to like, I don't know, just get me hyped while I'm coming over here. And I was listening to Hove. I probably listen to Hove maybe once a week at least right now. Bare minimum throughout my life. Probably listen to Hove like just once a week. And I'm just today was a Hove day, and I'm like, this nigga, this motherfucker is different. Like Hove is different. I know you're gonna say, oh, he's from Brooklyn, from New York. So you're gonna say, nah, it's no. He's what he's saying. He talking about
like Hove, you pussy, man.
He talking.
He's timeless too.
He talking about shit that niggas like think is cool now to like
Right.
15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
It's great. Great. You got to put him in top.
Yeah.
My
biggest inspirations. Hove up there too. Biggest inspiration. You know who's my biggest though?
I know.
Puff, right? I knew you was gonna say
this
Puff.
Nigga with the fucking cell phone on the boat when he was like 20, like
Puff.
Hov up there like number 2. I remember we asked him the question. He said AI. He said Allen Iverson.
Because I was never listening to music. The hip hop inspired him. Athletes inspired me.
Right.
Okay, but out of all the athletes, AI.
Yes. Because Gary just came to the U.S. not that long ago.
I started playing basketball like around in high school. I'm not.
He moved from Jamaica in like 9th grade. Like
it would seem that way, right? Nah, like to me, athletes was inspired.
Oh, hold on. I mean, I'm not trying to clown AI. Like, nah.
No, but
because back then you got the, they let me outside now. My parents, I could go to the park by myself. I had my little braids getting braided up like Alvin Iverson. It was just basketball was a thing. I really thought I was going to the league.
I really loved him from Georgetown. Like I used to
obsess over college ball. And then he was not a guy that back in there he was the rebel. He had the jewelry, the tattoos, and then
we talk about practice.
Yeah, homie.
The meme with Kyrie said, "You talking about games?" You ain't see that? No. They had his face on Iverson, but I said, "You talking about games? You want me to show up for games?" I was like, "Yo," but athletes was inspired because I'm athletic in that way, so I was more inspired by the athletes than by the music because I was listening to R&B and shit like that.
I get it.
So and I want to reiterate as we go because listen, I've come to know, and we've all come to know, dealing with people are fucking stupid. So people are gonna hear this and they're gonna say, "Yo, they left out Pac and Big." Like, wow,
you said alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
So
alive.
I just wanted to reiterate that because people gonna.
Okay, yeah, I heard the word alive. That's why.
I remember when I got my first big CD. I think that's what introduced me to hip hop. Getting a Biggie CD.
Yeah, we talking. Yeah,
I got After Death too. It wasn't
even same thing. You got to give them. You got to give them their flowers.
100%.
Pac was one of my favorites of all. If we doing all time top 5, I mean, yeah, I'm including them too.
Yeah.
And I'm probably withdrawing Snoop and T.I. They're gonna go slide down. Right?
Yeah, but I think for that, why I didn't even bring it up and discuss it because that's like a known. That's like a known.
It's like a known.
That everybody catch a vibe from them.
And
Who inspired Lillie? And I'm not talking about the Lillie Ennis group's Lillie. I'm talking about
Lillie from the Boogie Down Bronx.
There we go.
The fake Jamaican Lillie.
I am not.
Well, she is Jamaican.
I'm Latina. Michael refuses to accept the fact that I'm Puerto Rican. Like I'm Spanish. This is what I am.
Yo, I seen Tara post on under I think it was Holton's post when we was at dinner with him. Tara tagged her, was like, "Yo, we got left off of Bad and Bougie." That's not happening again. Yo, Tara's a comedian. That little bald-headed one is a comedian. Yo. Go ahead.
Who inspired me? Definitely athletes because I love sports growing up. But I don't even know why I used to sing half of the songs that I used to sing growing up because I listen to them now and I'm like, you really was. But I used to listen to like Junior Mafia, anything about Get Money. Like I was obsessed with, stuff like that. And for some reason, I swore I was going to get into politics. So politicians used to inspire me.
I can see that.
I mean, that's what birthed Lillie Ennis groups.
I can see that.
What is Lillie got accolades? At least I want her to tell us some of because Lillie got a day in CT. She's known for having her own day.
Lillie Ennis Day.
You got a Lillie Ennis Day. You have multiple. I know you got masterclass. You got your big hat brunch. You got so much things, and I know for a fact I'm missing a lot. So you've evolved into this businesswoman. So that's what Lillie is well respected in her realm and what she does. But that's why I asked that because I know right now you inspire women. But I also gotta know what evolved the thought. Like where did the evolution come from?
Yep.
What evolved that? Because we all got that little hood in us, and we've groomed ourselves.
You know what's funny? It's so crazy how visual imprints really work because there actually was a time where I must have been in like the 4th grade. I want to say the 4th grade. And I saw a lady walking out of a building adjacent to my my grammar school. And she had like, you could tell she was a woman of color, and she walked to her Benz, and she was dressed in like a pencil skirt, pearls, and she was just so pretty. I was so innocent as a kid, but I was always very bold. Like, I would walk up and ask you, how do you do this? How do you do that? Mm-hmm. And I remember running up while she's putting a box in her car, and I was like, what do you do? Mm-hmm. Mind you, she was a politician. She was like a local congresswoman or something like that. I wish I could remember her name. But I said, what do you do? And I started asking her questions, and I said, you're so pretty. And I was just having an innocent conversation. But her visual stood with me, and she had a Mercedes Benz. And I was like, when I get older, I'm going to drive a Benz.
And you drive a Benz.
And sure enough, like, it was just this thing I wanted to accomplish. And I wanted to be a woman of color, but I wanted to look like her, if that made sense. So those visuals are important.
Lillie be capping on, man. When I met Lillie, she said she don't fucking like talking in front of people.
I don't. You don't see my cheeks is red right now.
And that's been all.
And I forced Lillie to talk today because she was about.
But I gotta, because every time I get on and I say I'm an introvert, you say I'm full of shit. So I gotta find somebody to pass it to. Lillie full of shit, because Lillie said
I'm not an introvert. I'm an omnivert.
I don't know what the fuck that one is. I just learned what an introvert is. What is that?
Omnivert is when you're both. You can be both.
Oh shit!
You see, like, when I
can't
walk
go
in,
with that one. I can't say I'm not.
You could be with that, but I said that. I've said that at least on 5 different occasions. I'm like, yo, you probably both.
I block him out because he's trying to denounce my introvert. My introvert family is there watching us and glad that I'm a part of that realm. And you trying to take me away from my people.
I'm just trying to make sure that they stop being lied to. That's all.
I like walking into places with my best friend, with Cookie. Because she's, hey, y'all, and talking to everyone, and everyone pays attention to her, and I get to just sneak to my seat or wherever I need to go and just vibe.
Yeah, Tara's not an extrovert. She's annoying.
She is an extrovert.
In high school, Tara has always been that person, and it's evolved and groomed in ways that it has helped her out.
It's called
that man.
And I'm an extrovert when it comes to business. Like, if I have to do something, I have to be in front of the room. If I have to network, I mean, I can adapt.
I
feel you. I just said it's just be capping.
You be capping. I know that. He be riding that to the sunset. Like, yeah, because you know I'm an introvert. And you know what's funny? Yo, people who've never heard me argue him on that, when they hear it, they're like, all you see his face is like.
I can't argue that because they don't know me as an introvert. So I'm always going to look wrong because they know me as the guy who's in front of the rooms. So I have no, but let somebody else that knows me, they'll say, oh yeah, Gary never said nothing. Gary did that. So I have more people that can speak for me from before that.
I think, and I've said this before, I think Gary mixes up being an introvert and being an asshole. He's an asshole. He don't say nothing because he's an asshole. That's not because he's an introvert. He mixes that up and think one is the other, and it's not. The other day we come
to filter what he's saying.
We coming through the security in Mexico, and they stopping him so he could fill out a piece of paperwork that everybody got to fill out. He fill out the paperwork and come through it. I'm already filling it out. I'm just waiting for him. He finally fill out the paperwork, come through. He like, fuck Mexico. He's mad tight.
It's in Spanish.
He was so tight. He was so mad.
Spanish.
I'm like, this nigga, bro.
I'm a tourist. How you give me a paper to fill out in Spanish? I don't know it. I don't know to speak Spanish. That's why I didn't go into no local airport. Like, give me something that has both. Like, she mad at me that I don't know how to fill it out.
Nah. She was mad.
That means you're right. I don't know. I cannot speak Spanish.
Like, you know what it is?
And he's fooling nigga because they probably look at him like, why you ask him? He don't know. He can't read that shit either. He just got familiar with the paper.
You know, black people from New York speak Spanish.
But look,
I don't know nothing.
It said on the paper it was in Spanish, but right next to it was the English word, and you wasn't paying attention to the right hand side.
The app did not. It was straight up a Spanish. Because now we in Mexico, so not everything. The IP,
we wasn't in Tulum.
Coming.
I just want to.
We wasn't.
But
and I was tight because I couldn't even fill it out until I got there. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to ask the lady, yo, what this mean? She tight at me, like, all right, now I'm tight. Now I'm pissed because you expect me to know this shit? Do I look anywhere? I just, shit like that does piss me off. But yeah, I can be an asshole in that way, but I'm a very observant one. I'm a quiet one.
Yo, have y'all seen the movie Greenland? I think I asked you earlier.
No.
Watched it last night.
So where is this? On Netflix?
I don't think it's I think it's like on Amazon
Prime.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you could exactly, if you can go scoop it from somewhere, go watch it. But it was one of those movies that like it makes. All right. First of all, I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a spoiler.
No spoiler alert.
I don't want to give. We might have to do a spoiler alert because this movie's
No,
it's not like new. It's like new. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Yo, so Greenland is about a pretty much like Armageddon, like the world ending. You know what I mean? And it's being done by a comet. But the feeling that you got watching, I don't know, maybe it was just me watching this shit, and I'm just like, I'm mad uncomfortable. Like this movie makes me feel like they know something that we don't know. And
You think that happens with the older we get? Because we know that.
No, because that happens. There was this Asian movie, like, it won one of those whatever film festival things from 2016 that did the entire coronavirus pandemic.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Do you so feel like if you watching that in the younger? Because remember when I watch movies earlier on, I'm usually watching it for the action, the thrill, the horror. But now as you get older, you're more watching it for the message when you're in development. So now you're really looking deep into what's the purpose of this movie. And I now start to feel like, yo, all these little movies are a hint or they derive from something.
Yeah.
They derive from something. So watching a movie like that, you start to feel like this should derive from something. They know something.
And the way it was broken down, I don't know. It just made me. Here's what I got from it. I'm gonna say here's what I got from it. I started to think about like, what's really important? Like, yo, for real, what is really important? Like, while we're here on Earth, like, what's important? And yo, you start thinking about like, well, I did. I was like, yo, my kids, my family, my friends. I think I need to learn how to fucking fly. I need to go, I think I need to go build a bunker.
Like survival
mode. For the people that haven't watched it.
Yeah, like.
This ain't a spoiler because obviously you watched the trailer. The movie is about an ending, like the world coming to an end through a meteorite, right?
I said that.
Comet, excuse me. And as Mike said,
Tara should not watch this movie.
Huh?
She should not.
Because one of my favorite movies like that we talked about earlier is Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? That shit made me cry.
I don't want to close my
If you notice, that's my favorite karaoke song. When I want to win in karaoke, I put the Aerosmith on right now.
If y'all ever want to hear Gary sing, I'm going to give y'all an easy way to access him singing. Go watch Coming to America and go listen to the scenes when Sexual Chocolate is on stage singing. That is Gary. I believe in the future. That's yo. That is fucking Gary Cowan singing at karaoke. Sexual Chocolate. Yo, that's Gary. Y'all want to hear Gary singing at karaoke? That's it right there.
We'll go back to your point, man. Like it's stupid. It was about a movie, and so again, when you talk about, I didn't hear you say it was a comic, but that shit hit a nerve, man, because so much things. It hit a nerve for me, sitting here thinking how hard we go every day for certain things, and in terms of the clothes and the car, and when a fucking comet hit that car, and that shit ain't working.
Nah, yo, but all right, and this might be a little bit of spoiler. Fuck you, I don't care. Anyway, so not you, Lily. Fuck you, whoever out there is who's mad at this. Yo, so one of the things in the movie. So it's not really a spoiler, but one of the things is that there were certain people who were getting alerts to go to the nearest military airports to get shipped off to the bunkers. And the people who were getting alerts you come to realize throughout the movie, the people who were getting alerts were people who were good at stuff, like certain crafts, certain things. And that's what makes you think like, yo, if you like...
They no offense. Noah's Ark with people.
I was just about to say a modern day Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark, like, are you good at, engineering? Are you good at,
so they can rebuild
right, so they
Earth.
can rebuild. I'm sitting there, I'm like,
what am I good at?
Nobody, not even. Like, I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, If you are like an Instagram influencer, yo, it's over for your ass. You're definitely not getting picked because you bring no value other than entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a wrap for your ass. You know. But again, it made me think like, damn, what's crazy? Here's what I thought about, and that's kind of where maybe it derived from what I was saying earlier. When your money go up, your stress go down.
That's a fact.
Cause rest in peace, Big. I would much rather have some money in that situation to go have my own plane, bring my people on. Like for example, you know who I was thinking about watching that shit? I'm like, Grant Cardone. I said, he's good money. He's good money. His best friend is a pilot. Mm-hmm. So he got his own jet. Some shit hit the fan. He's out. He gonna send a text message to his other rich buddies. Where y'all at? Mm-hmm. Where we going? He not texting, Susie Q from IG with 2 million fucking TikTok followers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga gonna follow the people who's doing something for real and, making that work. So I don't know. It was just a bugged out, like.
Yeah, because at that point, the whole point of that is being able to get on a plane and getting your ass to that specific area. And you're like, damn, if I ain't got no skill, I better have some money.
Resources.
Yeah.
Resources. So now let's use that. This is a good teaching point because I've been we always talk about purpose, we always talk about business, and Holton taught us a lot about that in terms of why some people don't get paid what they need to get paid. They act like they want this, but they don't bring no value to the workforce. They don't bring no value. So at some point you look at yourself and say, shit, what am I good at? Mm-hmm. What services am I good at? What value am I bringing, if not to my household, to my community, to my people? We even talk about relationships, man. There's a lot of people out here that's requesting a lot of shit from a partner and they ain't got shit to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. So it's what value? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people also need to look at it in that way and say, yo, how am I a unicorn in this world at some point? How am I going to be, how do somebody see me and rate how much I'm worth based on my exchange? Whatever the case may be, because that's what came to mind too. It's saying, damn, here he is, and he's not the richest person in the community, the guy that got picked for it, but he built skyscrapers, right?
He built skyscrapers. That was his thing.
Expertise. So they know him as a skyscraper. They're like, yo, this is the guy we need to rebuild. So he get the invitation. His other friends who are also doing well financially, nothing.
Burned.
No invitation. Out. And then there was a lot of other things that happened in the movie of people getting turned away, but we'll let y'all watch it for that kind of stuff because that's the thriller stuff. But that, man, watching that, again, it was nerve-wracking in that way because now you start to say, damn, I ain't rich. What the fuck value do I really bring out here? Even in my own household, like to be able to protect my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where it gets restless. Once you got kids, man, you get restless when you want to protect. You want to provide.
And then what happened, we're not going to say what, like something happened with his kid where it caused an issue with, it was, just go watch the film, but I mean,
but now it's like you at that point, you're not just thinking for self, I need to get on this plane when you got a family. You're like, I need to get everybody on. I got to get my 3 kids. I got to get this. I got to get all that. And your job is to protect, provide, and not abandon all this other stuff. And it does put pressure on you in a good way to think and say, yo, what am I doing? I reevaluate. What am I doing to make sure my people are safe?
I felt like that with the cancer. Like my mindset, I couldn't even worry about me because my whole thing was, oh my gosh, if I'm gone, what's gonna happen to my family? What's gonna happen to my son? So there comes a point where you're this type of person and you experience things that will terrify you. You think everything's gonna be over, or you're not gonna be available to, protect your family, and you start thinking like that. Right. It makes you look at things differently.
Right.
And that's one thing and a good thing I'd say I learned about parenthood, man. I mean, there's a lot of no shit people out there. They're having kids, but they're not taking care of them. But it's kind of hard for me to. I used to always say, man, it's hard for us to be ain't shit niggas when it comes to your kids. But it's
say that again.
It's kind of hard to be an ain't shit nigga when it comes to your family. It's difficult. Like you know what I'm saying, I'm coming from a home where I see good examples, so it's very hard for me to stay away from that. No, not it being an excuse because some people don't see a good example at home and they still get to find their ways to create their own environment. But
as a parent, you also have to have a switch too. Like for example, I tell my kids no sometimes just for no reason.
I'll tell them no all the
just because you shouldn't
time.
Be used to saying yes.
Right.
But my parenting technique, which a lot of people probably are opposed to, since they were little, I've made them so independent. Like I have 2 boys, a 16 and a 10-year-old. They both know how to cook. They both know how to clean. They both know how to handle business. They are very self-sufficient. If something...
Fire for that. Bomb. Fire. No. So let me ask you a question as you're saying that, because we spoke about it earlier in terms of we were looking at our childhood compared to our children. Now your kid's a little bit older now, so you've gotten past the stage, but my son is 7, it's my oldest. And I'm looking at his 7-year-old and mine, I'm like, yeah, he's a punk compared to my 7-year-old.
Well, look at where we had to grow up,
who's 7?
My son.
Jace.
Jace is 7 years old.
Yeah, but you...
No, I said my son.
Oh, I'm about to say, because
my oldest
Landon ain't 7 years old.
No, that's what I said. Her kids are older, but my oldest is 7. Yeah, so I'm looking at my age, at his age where I was doing, like I was going home with the key.
Latchkey kids.
Yeah, I was like, yo, mom, don't let nobody know you here, but just be quiet. People knock on the door saying, and here it is, my wife won't even let Jace take the elevator down 2 floors without, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know times that they say are different now, but the reality is the hood has always been the hood. It just was no social media.
Right.
So when I look at the kids now, they're kind of wild though. Like these kids are wild today. They doing a lot of shit we couldn't do. But I just think the independence. Some of them are wild, but then they're not independent. The independence in terms of the responsibilities we had at a very young age to take care of your siblings, to do chores and stuff like that. I just think
that's why I say I retired from cooking. I've been cooking since I was 7 years old.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That's
7
wild.
years old.
So I watched Wonder Woman.
You want
That
some
movie, that movie was not good.
Wasn't good.
It was too long.
Real. No, but not even. I felt like it was a parody. I thought it was a joke. Like I was waiting for the movie to start, like 35 minutes in. I'm like, when is this movie gonna start?
I couldn't get
Let me
into
tell you
it.
what happened. Let me let you guys. Mike has no fucking patience whatsoever. He's the most impatient person. I know that.
Factory.
I'm very patient. So I'll wait 2 hours for a movie to warm up. Right? But I watched it. Not the greatest movie, but I got something from it.
Not to waste your time on whack ass movies.
Huh?
Not to waste your time on whack ass movies. I hope that's what you got from it.
You learn some of the wackest movies I've seen has the best messages.
The messages I always get is I will never waste my time again on that. But go ahead.
You don't.
So what did you get
from Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
It wasn't even what I don't think it's what they're trying to deliver, but I still took something away from it. Is what I'm saying.
He made his own
because it triggers things in you.
Right.
You know, we in a lane where somebody could say something that triggers a thought, like, "Yo, this is a good thing." It triggers something to me in terms of if you watch Wonder Woman, it had a lot to do with the person granting wishes and everybody getting what they want, created turmoil, basically. So what it triggered in me is, it's funny because if Lily wants what she wants, that might affect me getting what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's going to be happy. Somebody's probably going to take from somebody, which is why there's always turmoil. So when we say, yo, God don't be answering my prayers. Like, well, somebody's praying, not only praying harder, working harder.
That's
to get
like people
it done.
that pray about sports.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like somebody has to lose.
Somebody has to lose.
God, please let the
if
Saints
this is my saying, let me
it's
like the other team ain't doing a prayer.
You do realize God's gonna bless both teams.
Yeah, like he ain't doing a prayer too. But again, it was about people wishing. So there was no effort put in. It's just like I want what I want because I want it, and I'm taken away from that. It's like, damn, you know, it's crazy, especially in business and all those other things. Everybody's out there wishing, dreaming, saying this is what I want, and the people that are getting the answers, or getting the prize of what they want. It's not just because they say it's because they're putting all the work behind it. They're working harder than the person. So now when you see a person winning and you feel like you're losing, is they both prayed for it. They both wanted it. This person's just working harder to get that wish to come true. And then that's what I got from it. And I'm gonna let y'all know. Yes, somebody's working hard, so hard that you ain't never gonna get what you want because you're not putting your good foot forward.
That's good.
And that's what that movie was kind of, you know, it was kind of about it, but it just triggers something else because, you know, we want to be out here and be the best and biggest team in the industry and have the best business, and we work hard and we pray just like every marketer. But the reality is, if we don't put that work in, somebody else's prayers who's working hard are gonna get answered.
Perfect.
You really got all that from Wonder Woman?
It just one thing triggers, and it triggers a different lineage of things for me.
I gotta watch this movie again because
I can't.
There's no way I got.
Let me know if you got that same message.
I'm looking at this thing. I'm in amazement right now. Like, wow, this is good.
What camera am I looking at?
From Wonder Woman.
So hey,
Gal Gadot.
But here's what I say, and this I actually did this talk when I met Lillie. I talk about After Earth, the Will Smith movie.
It's true.
Right.
One of the nobody talks about After Earth.
Yeah, but that was a good movie.
It was better than Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Huh?
That shit was better than Wonder Woman.
That shit was like, if you rate it against Will Smith's movies,
I mean, you got
shit probably the
Wild West is bottom of the bottom. It's
the
worst.
And you got After Earth.
Probably you're right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but the message is what helped me to create success. It was all about fear. That's the movie, and I'm just watching the movie, just amazed because I'm catching the message early on about fear and how this monster would see people who are afraid, and he was trying to teach his son not to be fearful, so that the monster won't be attracted to you. Like, it was just a crazy message. And that's when I got the terms. That's when I heard the words, fear is not real. Fear is a thought. It's something that, like, come on, son. That's a fire message to take an hour and a half to get if you've never gotten a message like that before. But that movie's trash. And that's what helped me. If you notice, some of my greatest talks are talking about fear. So that's where I got that. That's where I got that from. So Wonder Woman,
I could see the message out of After Earth.
I mean, he deliberately said it though. That's why. I can get that. So he ain't patient. Mike, like, yo, don't try to sneak me the message. Tell me the message. Bring it on.
I can see.
What's the most impactful movie you ever seen, message-wise, that you use today, right now?
I'm different, son. So like,
there's so many good movies.
I'm gonna be real.
Give me 3 that has something to do with how you respond.
All right,
that you can still sit back today and say, you know what, this shit that I've watched in this movie, still I could apply that today.
I'll give you 2.
Talk to me.
And I go from, because there is really 2 that like I have had an impact on me. In second place,
The Blueprint documentary is not a movie, by the way. So
but you're close. No, American Gangster. That's right, American Gangster. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the things that I got from it is, no matter how big you are, you have to maintain some level of humbleness. You know what I'm saying? That one scene where he was wearing the mink at the Ali Frazier fight, and he didn't want to wear it. That wasn't Frank Lucas's thing. That wasn't his thing, and he still wore it, and it was the one mink coat that went against his entire, way of moving, is what fucked everything up.
It's so true.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, man, when they get successful, they think that they need to flaunt it and flash it in front of people's face.
They put a target on their
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that movie was so good because Frank Lucas was, he was the pinnacle. After his successor Bobby Johnson, right? He was that nigga in Harlem. He was really allegedly, that nigga in the United States. Like he was buying that raw straight from, where was he? Thailand? Where he was getting it from? So, it's like he changed. He was like the Steph Curry of the drug game. He changed. He was getting the direct 100% pure from Asia. No one could compete with him financially or even with the work. He was the man.
All that up for a mink.
But see the crazy part, and no one knew. The feds had no idea who it was. They thought it was the Italians. They thought it was because he played it. He was so low key. The one time he wore the mink that he didn't even want to wear, he did it because his wife bought it for him. Everything fucked up. Nigga went home and took that fucking mink and threw that shit in the fireplace.
It's always a female, man.
That's what he gets. He gets from that. It's always a female. No, he definitely gonna get that.
Fucking up the bag.
Here's my second movie.
Every war in history is a female's fault. I swear.
Here's the one I'm about to talk about. I don't know if it started with a female or not, but here's my number one movie of all time from an inspiration standpoint or movement is 300.
Really?
Without question, because I think that's the best leadership movie ever made.
Yeah.
There's no other movie that teaches leadership to me in messaging better than 300. That original one with and mind you, it's the same dude from Greenland. What's his name? Gerard Butler. So I love 300 because it shows how it wasn't about how strong the unit was of the 300 soldiers. It was about how strong they were individually on their own and when they came together. You know what I mean? And they knew their purpose. They knew what the mission was, regardless of what. like that one movie is a metaphor for so much shit. Like even like the last podcast we was talking about how people get distracted very easily nowadays, right? Because of all the distractions that are out there. When it was time to go to war with the 300 Spartans, and they went to war with they were going to war in the movie with the Persians. But there was another set of Greeks that went to go war with them, right? They wanted to join up with them. And the 300 soldiers was kind of like, I don't really want to. And they were kind of like, well, what you mean? You don't want more soldiers? And Leonidas, right? Gerard Butler's the king, and he's asking the leaders of the Athenians, like, you say that we don't have that many soldiers. Let me ask you, what's your profession? Guy goes, carpenter. You? Locksmith. I forgot the exact carpenter. You? Painter, whatever. He turns around and he's like, Spartans! What are you? He's like, you see, I came with more soldiers than you.
Right.
And to me, that's a metaphor of like, what do you do? Like, what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? Like, what is your purpose? That movie right there is like, and then the way how the metaphors of like when he knew he was gonna go die. Like from to the time he left the city, he knew he was gonna die. When he looked back at his wife, he didn't even tell his wife bye. He just looked at like, just kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Didn't look at his son and like just, the amount of like, I guess just raw having no fear in that movie, that it does a lot. You know, it makes me think about how good we got it. You know, how much stuff we need to deal with. So people are afraid to get up and, you know, go chase their dreams in certain ways. People are afraid to go in our industry. They're afraid to do a presentation because they're afraid of what people think. Imagine having to go get up and go to war in some fucking sandals and a sword and a metal shield, and it's only 300 of you, and you know that you're about to fight a country, and the only thing that's helping you is the fact that you're in this little corridor. Like, I mean, I think about shit like that. People are afraid of fucking dumb shit today, but the shit that people have had to deal with throughout lives, not only then, but in general. So it's a long answer, but that movie
afraid of their cousin telling them no.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
for me, I would have to say Castaway. Because so many people are like, oh, I don't need nobody, I don't care, I'm dolo, born alone, die alone. But in the journey of life, you realize no man is an island. Like, you will literally lose your mind, and you need people.
Yeah.
And relationships are important. So Castaway was a big one for me.
Castaway. That's a good movie too.
Yeah, I didn't. She went left with that one. Didn't expect that one.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Today was inauguration day. We didn't even talk about that shit all the time. This is crazy. Like, how we didn't even bring that up. Like, today, we finally got Trump out of this fucking office. Let's give a round of applause. We got Trump out of this fucking office, man.
Isaac said, don't it smell different today? It smells less racist today.
The amount of memes that have been flying around with him. Like I seen a meme that had me crying with it was a meme when they put his face on Eddie Murphy's body when he was getting thrown out of the window in the Beverly Hills Cop. It's a wrap. It's over, and he's probably not even like, hey, this like.
It's not over for him.
It's not over for him. Like, this post presidency gonna be rough for him because he might, if they go through with all these proceedings, like, he might not only
his journey's just begun.
Fuck not being able to like run for office again or run for any like political anything again. He ain't gonna have no Secret Service. he ain't gonna have the benefits of putting all the benefits that comes with being a president.
That's scary to not have Secret Service going forward. That's very scary.
Listen, why you think he was trying to cheat so bad? Because he already knew the shit he was about to get. And then he goes and put himself in this dumbass situation the last week of him, or last week and a half of him being the presidency. He gonna rally his
I don't think people understand really the severity of how dangerous that was.
No, that was.
Like, I think people just think they're enamored with this being a skeptical and, oh my God, but like, I don't know.
No,
I think if you like grew up really understanding.
That was wild. That was wild. And he was the person that.
Because some people didn't even know the difference between the White House and the Capitol.
Most people don't. Most people don't. Most people don't. when people go to DC and they see the Capitol building, oh, that's the White House. No, it's not.
Right.
That's the Capitol building.
I thought that shows the White House. Nah.
We drive like
that wasn't that was scary.
Water, man. That's Hennessy.
Born and raised in New York, like that's our school trips. Because DC's not that far from New York.
Right.
So
my mom wouldn't sign my permission slip. I used to forge in my shit.
That Miss Wendy?
Signatures. I actually knew that.
She gonna post about it.
I was going on every trip. She's like, yo, I'm like, yo, I just signed. I showed her. Remember, I'm an artist. I know how to draw. So I was forging signatures for everything. As long as I can get my own money, I'm going on my trip. Mm-hmm. That's what it was.
Yeah, man. Congratulations to Joe Biden.
And to us.
Wait. And Kamala.
Kamala.
I always say that too.
Kamala. It's the black and you that want to say Kamala.
I like Kamala though. It just like flows better. But yes, Kamala Harris. And I got my Fear God hoodie too. I should have wore it today, man.
And shout out to Sonia Sotomayor.
Holy shit. The what?
Yes. Yeah, that's
the Latina U.S. Supreme Court Justice.
You got to say it again. I didn't say
Sonia Sotomayor.
Yep.
So I can't.
From the Bronx.
Shout out to Sonia.
Went to my high school, Carlos Palmer High School. Mm-hmm. Sotomayor.
Felt like I was singing the fucking that sexual chocolate song just now. Oh my God.
So that was powerful today, to say the very least.
Sonia, congratulations, man. Yeah. My Spanish is just whack. I do Spanish like Kevin Hart.
And then shout out to us for surviving.
Period.
Surviving that 4 years.
I forgot who I said, man. I don't know if it was Dick Gregory or somebody said, man, you don't just pray that you woke up. You pray because you survived 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be another 4 years of BS just because that's how
that's
how our republic is.
But I think there's going to be some change, though.
My biggest thing that I'm looking forward to, because with any presidency, there's always a shift, obviously. My biggest win when I look at this is just the lessening of racial tension in America.
Yeah.
That was some really intense 4 years of just
for sure
being a person of color.
But you know what I was thinking about today? I was wondering, in the next 4 years, or in the future, because it might not happen in the next election term, but in the future, I wonder if there's going to be, because I kind of think it might happen,
a female?
There's going to be somebody else that comes up through the Republican Party that says, yo, that many of us voted for Trump? I'm going to go through that playbook and try that stupid shit again. Let me see if that worked for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? 70 million people voted for Trump in the U.S. Like, that's wild. Even though, yes, more people voted for Biden, even in the popular vote, right? More people voted for Biden. More people in the popular vote even voted for Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Right. 4 years ago.
To get that much after all that you did.
But I'm wondering, like, for that many people, that just showed, like, it showed how many people believe in Trump's rhetoric, like, which is scary too. So it's not like they all died and vanished because Trump is not in office.
No.
It's like they peeked out. They hid, like, you know what I'm saying? The lights got turned on for the roaches. So, we know that they're out there. Is somebody else going to come out in the future?
But the spiritual part of me feels like that was orchestrated by God. Like, as horrible as it was to witness that, I feel like it was intentional, because now you're not hiding in the dark. Now we know that you feel this way. Now we see you, we identify you. Because a lot of these people who were part of the attack on the Capitol were, police officers that were in charge of the racial diversity departments. Now you're out.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you that question. You bring that up. How do you separate the spiritual part from the business part?
I don't.
You feel like it always goes hand in hand?
I put God in every single, he comes first.
Okay.
And so what I do is, if I'm saying a speech or I'm teaching something and I mention God, I also acknowledge the fact that I respect whatever you believe. And I'm not influencing you to believe what I believe, but I am going to stand on what I believe.
Okay. And I asked the term separate, because what came to mind when I asked that question, I see so many people who, again, they're prayer warriors, but they don't put in the work. And a lot of times people say, well, because I do have so much faith that he's going to put the work in for me.
No, faith without works is dead.
Yeah, you're a lazy bum. We say it, but some people, God take the wheel, because I've met some people who just leave all of their choices up to him.
No,
So when you get those type of people, how do you deal with them?
I let them know they're being lazy. Right, because I could pray for $1 million right now, but if I don't put the action, so I might maybe tell that person that, or give a suggestion as to how to pray. God, give me the wisdom. God, give me the sweat equity to accomplish these goals so that I could be a showcase of your glory. Something like that. But to just sit here and pray for something, people, like I said, people pray for championship games.
Right.
What, God didn't honor the other team?
What's your views on trying to get... I'm asking this direct because we could sit here and talk about all day, but now we got Lillie. I think my track record of empowering women is long. I think the only person that got a track record close to mine is Lillie.
Future?
It's Lillie, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm Drake, she might be Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, in terms of my qualifications.
Oh boy.
Here he goes.
He was going to start.
Nobody not going to be able to find those qualifications anywhere in the records.
Right.
But
so, now let's talk about dealing with women, man, because it's been so many times me and Mike, I say Mike and I ain't want to say Mike and I because it's Candy. It sounds like Candy. Mike and Ike. Mike
don't
I.
drag me into your mess.
No, we talk a lot on things that don't have a woman perspective sometimes. And we try to do our best to empower both ends. But yet, I know sometimes hearing stuff from a female is more relative, connects a little bit more. And as we said, sometimes I feel like it's the woman I always fall to the back. Like, in terms of women who, we go from a culture standpoint, you come from a culture where the women are usually the nurturers. They're really not the alpha most of the time, but then we're in a new age where so many alpha women stepping up saying, I'm the bossy, Beyonce fucked that up for a little bit, but anyway. So, inspire in terms of these women. What advice would you give them for that woman who's kind of like, they want to become and step into that alpha role, become independent, but maybe their culture, they're just playing a role that maybe they, being a mom, they're forced to play, but something inside of them wants to step out and kind of.
Alpha is not something you want to do. Alpha is something you are.
Oh shit!
And that's
I feel you.
It's the honest to God truth. Like, I didn't want to be alpha. I've been beat up as a kid from my parents because I was alpha. So it's something that you are. And, that's why with Landon, my youngest son, I try not to beat him because I don't want to break that spirit in him because I know it's going to make him a powerful leader one day. But I also want to cultivate him enough where he's respectful to people and things. So alpha is not something you want to be. Alpha is something you are. But for women who are trying to break, let's say, a cultural paradigm, because this is how women are in a set specific culture, I think ultimately it's about making a decision, finding someone whom you admire, and then learning from that person. Unfortunately for me,
afraid to look up for mentorship.
Unfortunately for me, I had to be what I was looking for because there really wasn't me. And then it's hard because when you have women like myself that speak on things like that, the women who are not ready to make that paradigm shift look at women like me like, oh, she's bugging, she's crazy. When I say things like, I'll make a financial decision without a man, some women don't like to hear that. Oh no, she's bugging, I gotta consult with my husband all day. Well, on the flip side, it's not just about your husband leaving you. People always use that, well, my husband will never leave me. It's not about that. It's about having a true partnership. So if you have a true partnership, should your husband not be able to depend on you, especially in his absence, or if something were to happen, to make decisions? So now at this point, you're not being a contributor to the empire. So, I could go on and on about that for days because that's my big thing. I just feel like women need to equip themselves. You need to equip yourself to be the CEO of your household. If you didn't, if your husband passed away, there's so many women that they flop. They don't know what to do. They can't take care of their kids. They can't do anything because they never started to make those decisions when he was present. So I think that's a huge part of my ministry. That's a huge part of why I wrote the book, why I speak every chance I get on things like that, because I think there does need to be a shift. Now, on the flip note, I also believe that even though I'm an alpha female, you have to learn how to tone that down when you're in a relationship. You need to make a man feel like a man. You need to make a man feel like a king. So it's a flip.
Give it up one more time for Lillie Ennis. Give it up one more time.
You know, there's a flip, and I think sometimes when you are alpha, it's hard for you as a woman to know how to cater to a man at the same token. Like, let me go conquer the world, but then when I come home, let me be a kitten to you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest battle that women suffer internally when they are alpha.
I mean, I can go on and on asking you questions. You want to answer some of that? How you deal with women who are...
No, I don't like you asking women questions at all. This is your forte with the women stuff.
That shit gets spicy for me, man. I know the fellas like to hear, the ladies like to hear. We finally got a female
this is
that
Gary's
has
bag
a very strong opinion on certain things, and I like to hear it because I like the answers, but I also like to hear it because it can always create good controversy, man. Because we on two different sides of the table.
That's a very controversial topic. It
is. Women being alphas.
Yeah,
it's a controversy.
It's controversial because a lot of women they don't relate to it. Mm-hmm. You have to understand, and I'm going to say this as a Latina.
A few men also are intimidated by it. So that's what
I know that culturally, I can't speak for all Latinos, but I know that culturally, a good portion of us were taught to go to college, but it was to find a good husband. Mm-hmm. To equip yourself to find a good husband. And how many, and I know they're going to come for me. They got their own beehive. They're going to come for me. But they go, and if you notice, a lot of Latin women, or women per se, the minute they have children, they stop their careers. Mm-hmm. They put their careers on pause. Now, do I feel that that's a choice if a woman wants to do that? Yes, that's her choice. But I personally don't agree with that because I feel that when your children are looking at you, they're looking at both parents. Mm-hmm. And I think that instinctively, children will relate to one parent more than the other. You never know who that is. So when you put a lid on you, you're putting a lid on your children's success as well. Because no matter how much you tell children what to do, notice parents always say, I want you to be better than me. I want you to be better than me. You can say that all day, but children will never listen to what you say. They follow what you do.
Yep. See, that's why when Mike said most women cheat because of stuff like that, I believe him, man. What you said? Say that again. What you had said?
Everybody who watching know that comes from verse 14, chapter 7 of Gary's Bible. So yeah, everybody know.
Man. So Mike has said, and they said.
Everybody know
switch it up once they had a kid, and the person you was inspired. What you said, when you get them and you're inspired by them, and now they fall back, like you lose that. I don't know. You got to say what you say.
He always want to take all the good shit that I be saying.
I'm the one that told you. I'm the one that told you about 300.
Now he.
Him and Javed, they're the thieves.
I just talked to him about 300. That's crazy.
He told me. He gonna take my good shit and all the shit that he's controversial for him. He gonna toss on me.
I'm gonna give you something. If I'm gonna take, I gotta give you something, man. I gotta give you credit for something, man.
He gonna give me some of that.
I'm gonna let you something back, but that's very controversial.
Why do you think? Because Gary thinks that in order for a woman to have a good man, she got to take the good man from a good relationship. So why do you think that? He said that multiple times on the show.
That's how I ended the last one. I said, man, y'all got to stop. Here's my smart but stupid analysis of why I just throw things out that to stir things up, right? Because I've said many things that have made people think, and they're like, damn, as stupid as he sounds, there might be some truth behind that. Nobody want nobody that's single, man. When you single,
why you say that?
When you don't got no job, you can't find one. When you single, don't nobody want you. Something wrong. If I've met a woman, and she's of age, my age, 30, 40, in her 40s, right? No kids, no man. The first thing that's coming to mind, yo, what's wrong with her? Something got to be wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
true.
You know
what I'm saying? Think about it.
I was asked that.
As age goes by, you meet an older one. I'm not talking about you meet just a woman. As you start to get, because we're at that age now.
Yeah.
where most of our friends, they had children. You're expecting, a family at a certain age. You talk to an old friend, they gotta have some kids, man. We not 40s, about to be 40, 30. So I'm just feel like if you meet a woman with an older woman, you don't know what she got going on. So I ain't gonna say based on her having money or not, but just single, older woman, no kids, and just out here like that.
She might have been smart, man.
Smart at what?
A gentleman that was trying to court me asked me that. Like, I wanted to ask you on a date, but then a part of me just had to wait for like a couple of months of watching you online, and I was
somebody
like,
being stupid, man.
Yeah, he was like, because I was wondering why is she single?
Right, mind you, I'm not just saying that's what I think, but I'm just saying that's something that goes in people's mind because I remember I was talking to Joel.
But single is a choice.
The people that read the shade room every day,
single is a choice.
Single ain't no fucking choice.
Yes, it is, because I choose right now to be single.
Yeah. I mean, but circumstances. That's why.
What makes me different?
Circumstances. You've been in a long distance relationship for how long?
Right.
So sometimes now when you get that time to yourself.
So how you know that's not somebody else?
But that can be some shit is wrong with her. She just finished a relationship. Something's wrong. She just went through something. She got children though, so you know that she just came through something. But if I met you with no kids at a certain age, something might pop up into my mind and say, what you think is wrong?
Y'all gotta stop doing that to women.
What?
Because there's certain women.
Just say Gary.
There's certain women.
I'm not saying there is
that
something
cannot
wrong.
have children. So y'all gotta stop asking women.
Gary gotta stop asking
about why they don't have children. Maybe she was in a long-term relationship too, and she just couldn't have children.
We don't asking that question. That's a plus for us.
Okay.
Because you look at it and say,
but
I gotta deal with nobody.
You judged her.
No, I'm not using
Gary,
it to judge her.
I'll slap you. Stop talking crazy about
but
women
you know
on here. Like, we're not going to do that.
Which one?
The 10 Glam Commandments.
Oh, grab the book.
Right. That's what we're not going to do, Gary.
Hey, go grab this book if you're watching. The author, Lillie Ennis.
She really wrote 9. I wrote number 10.
There you go. Yo, this is stupid, son.
One of these shit she got from me. But nah, I'm just using not a philosophical analysis, just as stupid conversations that it comes up that easy where two guys could be saying, yo, I met this girl, she got on, and you're like, she 40, that shit sound crazy. Well, so what's wrong with her? It can come up. I'm gonna be honest with you. It has multiple times talking with different people. Not saying that's what everybody thinks.
But I don't think like that.
Of course Mike does. He's just not gonna voice it right now.
No, I don't. I would never think like that about
somebody. Thank you.
I wouldn't. I personally,
because Gary just looks for the negative
in
people, period. That's that asshole that we've been talking about.
Of course. That's what Gary
Gary
gonna find.
I was going with that.
Gary gonna find
you're going nowhere really
fast.
That's why I
said, because when we was going into the relationship, I said that. Because single, you said single's a choice. But I'm just saying, it's just funny because when you got a job, you can't find one. When you're single, nobody wants you. As soon as you end up in a relationship,
everybody wants you
now. And I used to always tell people, I don't market what I'm not selling. So when it comes to social media, it was like, you're not going to see me out here posting too much of my family. That's my time, one. Mm-hmm. I have a purpose for my social media, too. But also, I don't want me tagging at everybody, checking to see, let me go into her page. Let me see what his lady looking like. Like,
You're not selling that.
That's
I'm not selling that. Right, I'm not selling that. So that's what I said. It's stupid, but it's smart.
And some people choose to post, like me, I'm a poster. I post my entire family. I tag everybody because I want to do it from an influence standpoint.
Would you want your next partner
Nobody's
to do exactly
not
the same
figuring
thing?
him out until I have a ring on my hand.
No, what I'm saying is whoever your next partner is, would you want him to be posting and tagging?
It doesn't matter to me.
He's not going to be able to because she got to take him from a relationship. He's not going. She got to go find a good
If
man.
he does, cool. If he doesn't, that's cool too. Because some women feel like that's
cap.
No, some women feel like that's
cat. I love language.
A temperature check of how much he loves you.
New love language.
And I'm like, no.
Fucking idiots think that way. That's straight up.
Social media is a new love language for some women. He got a house
mate. I could care less either way.
Listen, I'm gonna bring it back to the movie Greenland. Would you rather for a nigga to show you his love, posting you, or bringing you on that plane to Greenland to that bunker?
Period.
What shows more love?
Right.
Stay here and fucking burn in hell, or when his media hit, or I'm gonna bring you on this plane.
But then it also goes back to love languages.
Have all this. Have the IG, have the password.
What if that's your wife's love language? And she needs to feel
since when
like that
when they wrote the book, since when social media?
I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of other ones. Food is my love language.
That to the love languages, social media.
Where did that fit in? Like, who wrote that in?
It's not there.
I'm just saying it's not. I don't think it's
there.
I'm sure that somehow social media has transformed into.
If you could put it into a love language, where would it fit?
Words of affirmation.
Motherfucking words of cap. That shit is a lie, boy.
That's the only one I see it fitting into.
It's not because I still feel like words of affirmation fit me emotionally coming out and telling you and making you feel good. Some of these motherfuckers want to post when shit ain't good at home. So that
a lot of them post and cap when everything's horrible at home. To be honest with you. You see, the people that honestly post the most, it be turmoil when them cameras is off.
So what words of affirmation? They building a vision board through their IG page? Like, me post.
But you know what? People honestly don't post for their significant other. People post for other people. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen a lot of people that's like the new baby mom
when
needs
somebody
to post
slide
to
up in your
prove to the
DM,
old
your
baby
man,
mom.
when you get your man and you post him and somebody slide up in his DM, it's because you was posting for other people.
Right.
You was trying to say, yo, look, I got something good. You should try to get it.
That's like the rule. You're not supposed to tell your girlfriend how good your man.
Right, it's be y'all fault. Everything is y'all fault.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That is
we
a
agree.
fact.
You agree. See, Lily's here as a woman. She agrees.
Don't put words in my mouth.
That most of this.
And I'm late for my inner circle.
No, you're not, man.
Yes, I am.
Inner circle now. I think you should put me on the inner circle. I have a track record, as I say.
All right, so we're gonna log on in a few, and you're gonna be our guest.
What's the inner circle about?
The inner circle is an intimate mentoring group that I do.
Belong in the inner circle.
Yes, we're gonna have you as a guest.
Is the inner circle?
Mike's been a guest on the inner circle.
It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
I'm gonna show you how to get this done out here, man.
It's a lot of women. There's men too, but there's a lot of women.
I do well in that field, man. I do well, man. I can maneuver in there. I don't know. We doing some parting words. I know we've been here for a while.
No, yeah. I was giving you the room to see where you was going.
I could keep going.
No.
Oh,
no,
yeah. Mike, stress. What's up, man? Money can. Stress is a number one killer out there for people.
For people out there,
and you feel that.
And I feel like money's getting your money up is going to reduce that stress. Do not take Biggie's words, to heart. He would much rather you have some money in your pocket than not having no money. Get your money up, bring your stress levels down.
You got broke people problems, and you got P. Diddy and J-Lo problems. I'd rather have P. Diddy and J-Lo problems.
Listen, getting your money up is going to definitely alleviate a lot of problems for you. You're always going to have some problems, but choose the ones that's going to give you options. You can have a lot of problems that you deal with, but you can deal with it on a yacht and worry about it, and have your assistant help you worry about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to alleviate some of the stuff. So yeah, and the reason why I say that too, because sometimes people use they use not going after to get money, or they use this thing of like, oh, money don't mean everything. They use that. That's really an excuse for them to not go do shit.
People have such a poor attitude about money. That's why they don't have any.
Right. So parting words is that, we spoke about a lot, but I definitely want you to go out there and go get your money up. And be happy. Man. Yeah, be happy. It's going to bring some more happiness to you. Trust me.
No stress.
Go take Kyrie contract from him and go give him a fucking job at Target. Let's see how happy he is. No, I don't want that to happen. I'm just giving an example. I bet you he's going to be a lot less happy and behind that register than he is right now, so.
No stress. And as Lily said, man, you borrow somebody else's man, it's less stressful than having your own.
I never said that.
That's facts. Episode 11. We out. Thank you, Lily. Appreciate that.
Peace out.
What's going on, guys? It's Michael Jex here, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in to the Jex podcast. And if you got any value from this, I would love for you to go ahead and leave a positive review on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever else you were able to hear this. Or if you check this out on YouTube, definitely go ahead and leave a quote, comment, anything that you like if you got some value from this. Much love, take care, and I'll see you next week, Thursday, on the Jex podcast.